One of the funny things about being a Brit living in the US is that these days I'm usually always asleep when Games Workshop drops some absolute fire updates. Today is no exception, introducing some truly massive balance changes to Kill Team. Let's take a look. First up, we have a brand new core rule. Long story short, you can now never activate more than 2 operatives in a row before your opponent has had a turn to activate a ready operative or perform Overwatch. This has quite clearly been introduced to stop the Tau Pathfinder team from being quite so overpowered and broken. Playing the Pathfinders in a specific way could previously allow for you to operate up to 4 operatives before your opponent had a chance to react, which is a devastating combo, with very little that can be done to counter it. By making this change a core rule, this can no longer be done, nor will any future teams be able to do this. I think we can all agree this is a good change. The updates, and indeed nerfs, don't stop there for the Pathfinder kill team. The Worthy Cause tactical ploy has doubled in price to 2 command points. Likewise, it can now only be done once per battle and on a turn when you don't have the initiative. Make no mistake, this is a huge nerf to this ability, designed to prevent the multiple activation abuse the Pathfinders were quickly becoming known for. The Assault Grenadier has also seen a nerf. It used to be that grenades with the limited special rule could be selected twice for this operative instead of once. This is no longer the case. Finally, the ability of having 5+ marker lights has been toned down. It used to be that you could simply shoot an enemy operative as if they had an engage order, regardless of any other factors. This has been nerfed slightly now so that this does not apply if the enemy operative is in cover provided by heavy terrain. What do you think about these nerfs? I think most people would agree the Pathfinders clearly needed nerfing, but is this too much or just right? Let me know in the comments. Personally, while I think this is a huge rebalance, I'm now much more inspired to actually put together and use my Pathfinder kill team. As someone who is predominantly a narrative or casual player, the only thing worse to me than using a massively underpowered kill team is using a massively overpowered one. These games are a time commitment, and if I'm sitting down with another person to play a game that's going to last as long as these ones do, I want to make sure we're both relaxed and having fun. Curb stomping my opponent in a game where they have no chance simply because I'm using an overpowered team is no fun for either of us, so I'd rather just not play in those circumstances. Still, these seem like very big changes. Time will tell if the new balance is right or not. The Commandos have seen a minor update as well. The Commando kill team is a top performer, not quite as broken as the Pathfinders, but very strong. The previous update saw a slight nerf to the use of dynamite, particularly with the Daka Boy, and it looks like this change will continue that trend by only allowing you to select dynamite once as a piece of equipment. This looks like a good change. It should prevent dynamite spam without massively nerfing the rest of the team. I'm particularly excited for this next change. It's no secret that Space Marines currently just do not perform well on kill team. Subpar weapon selection for the most part and limited activations can really hamper them. Now, all Space Marine and Grey Knight fire teams, with the exception of Scouts and Tactical Marines, can take an additional Warrior operative, making them teams of 6 instead. This stops Chaos Space Marines being flat out better than their Imperial counterparts, although I do wonder if it's enough. Either way, it's good to see Space Marines getting buffed a little bit. You can expect to see a rematch between my Black Legion and Jester's Blood Angels in the near future, where we will try out this change. The Death Guard have also seen an update, and one that I was not expecting. The Death Guard too can now take an additional Warrior operative, increasing their kill team size to 6 as well. The Death Guard are already a very resilient team, with their only weaknesses being their slow movement and easily being out-activated. This change will make them even tougher, and they'll continue to be a thorn in the side of similar teams such as Space Marines, who are probably still going to struggle against them even with their buff that I previously mentioned. Moving on, Craftworld Elder are getting a very simple buff. Every fire team can now take an additional operative which increases their kill team size by 2. This is a good change for sure, but personally it's one that I need to see play out in the tabletop. The Craftworld kill team was arguably the worst kill team in the compendium, with the possible exception of heavy intercessors. They were neither very survivable, nor did they really have enough activations considering how fragile they are. It'll be interesting to see if this change is enough. Finally, we have the Necron Tombworld kill team. Blade ones have been buffed, with both regular and critical damage being increased by 1 on their Flare claws. This should help them be a more attractive choice for sure. They weren't quite good enough to be worth taking over Warriors or Immortals previously, but this should help that somewhat. What do you think? Let me know if you think this is enough to convince you to take them over the classic warrior and immortal combo, which is currently very popular. Closing out this update, Games Workshop have confirmed that the bespoke kill teams released in White Dwarf are indeed meant to completely replace their equivalent teams in the Compendium. This does not really surprise me, it's no different from army codices replacing the army rules found in the index books released at the start of 8th edition for Warhammer 40,000. What can potentially rub people the wrong way with this change though, is that these bespoke teams are White Dwarf releases. If you don't read the magazine or you've missed an issue, you're effectively out of luck. However, the internet is a thing and there are ways around this. If you want to stick to official publications, Games Workshop are most likely going to release a book in the future with the White Dwarf kill teams, and until then, you can always just use the Compendium rules instead. Treat it as a litmus test. Any opponent who gives you grief over using a Compendium team because you don't have the bespoke rules is simply not worth your time. And that's it for this update. This should certainly change the game up some, and I'm looking forward to trying out the new rules. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more from us, or maybe check out one of our battle reports. It all helps, but in any case, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video.